Then you can tell us about your love for that thing you are applying for, right? So now you have presented a perfect explanation for the third class you had. But some people there, I'm a third class human being. Please help my soul. Today, welcome to my live session. Today we're going to be doing question and answers. I'm going to be answering your question and answering the question of other people. How are you? The first question I have here is someone is asking, can someone with a past result in ICANN get admission to further in accounting in Canada? So this person said ICANN is an exam that people write when they are trying to become professional accountants. Yes, but let me say that I know that most times, subject correction, I know that most times for you to do ICANN, you must have completed your accounting degree or any other degree. Like maybe, I know people who write economics and then they take ICANN exam, right? So the thing is, instead of asking yourself if you did ICANN exam, can you study in Canada? Ask yourself, are you a graduate? If the answer is yes, then you can work with Vantage Migration to study in Canada, to further your studies in Canada. Yes, if you have an account background, you can go for accounting. That's definitely sure. But I just want to explain that it is not only accounting people that do ICANN. So this person said they have a pass in ICANN. But the main thing is, are you a graduate? Yes. Don't worry. We got you covered. We got you covered. So feel free, get started, and you'll be able to ask more questions when you start your training with us. The next question I have here is, you have never talked about China. Is it not a good study destination? Okay, well, China is a good study destination. There are a lot of people going to China to study. I know that for a lot of people who go to China to study, some of the complaints they may have is maybe language. I'm not saying that all Chinese schools or all schools in China speak Mandarin, or no, but language sometimes can be is one of the things people complain about, the environment. Then sometimes they complain about maybe the environment being welcoming to international students. By and large, people go to China, people get scholarships to go and study in China. It's a good study destination. So feel free to explore China if that is what you really want to do. All right, let's look at questions that some people have dropped. All right, let's look at questions that people have dropped. Okay, so this question is from Ifoma. Hey, Ifoma, how are you? Ifoma said, I got a visitor's visa to Canada, but I just had my baby and my husband is a Canadian citizen. Wow, that's good. How do I apply for my child? Talk to your husband. Talk to your husband. He knows what to do. If he doesn't know what to do, he knows who to speak to. So you're already talking about maybe filing for your baby or something, right? So talk to your husband, and he should be able to sort it out for you. But if you're asking, chances are that you probably have spoken to him and he doesn't know what to do. So he can reach out to an immigration lawyer in Canada and they can help you out. That would be the smoothest transition instead of trying to, look for what to do. I mean, if your husband is a Canadian citizen, I would imagine that you guys can pay a Canadian lawyer to help you sort out things. That would be the best bet for you, okay? All right, thank you so much. Let's look at the next question that we have here. This question is from Demi. Demi say, can you work in Canada before your school resumes, even if you landed in Canada already? Can you work in Canada before your school resumes? Well, let's put it this way. It depends. What is the length of time? See, there's a difference between your school is resuming next week, right? And you got a job today and you start. And your school is resuming in 6 months' time and you're in Canada already. Those two things are different, and the answers are not the same. So how long, if it's just like, oh, you just arrived, you got job next week, next 2 weeks your school starts, that makes sense. That will make sense if you explain it to a visa officer that you got job earlier, you didn't want to lose the job, so you started. But if you arrive in Canada 4 months, 6 months before your school starts to start working, you may be violating your study abroad rules and regulations. So read your study abroad rules and regulations again and follow it. Read your study abroad rules and regulation again. Your study visa, your study permit rules and regulation again and follow it. You're not going to catch me on camera telling you to violate your study permit, right? In fact, even in private, I won't tell you the same. But I'm also trying to tell you that beyond the letters on your study permit, if you're talking about your school start next week, it is easier for a reasonable person to know that, well, you couldn't have lost the job, right? But if you are saying 4 months later, you clearly know what you are doing and you are continuing to do it, which is not good. So read your study abroad rules and regulation again and follow it. That's my final advice. Final advice, yes. Let's bring the next question. So I have as a necessity for all. That's the person's name. Says, is Manitoba a good choice in terms of availability of job? Well, there are many other cities that have more job openings than Manitoba, definitely. But what I'm going to tell you to do is go to the school that is best for you, whether they're in Manitoba or not. I know you are saying, oh, is it good for job? But imagine that a school in Manitoba gave you admission, gave you scholarship. The one in Toronto gave you admission, did not give you scholarship. You want to go to the one in Toronto because of availability of job. Who said you can't finish your admission in Manitoba and then relocate to Toronto for job? Do you understand my point? As far as I'm concerned, we focus on study abroad, study visa, scholarship, study loan, right? So it is on this basis that I'm advising you that the best thing for you is what? The best thing for you is for you to go to the school that is best for you, irrespective of the city. As for job, there is no city that does not have job. Even if the one in a city is paying you more, most times in that same city where you are being paid more, your living expenses will be more, your house rent will be more, everything will equalize. So last, whether you are in a city that pays less or you're in a city that pays more, everybody will equalize. So focus on the school and getting the right admission for you instead of thinking of the city. All right, that's the best answer for you on that. Let's look at I think this person, Sadiq. We have a question from Sadiq. Let me bring it on. So Sadiq said, I'm looking for a good agent for Canada. Whoa, Sadiq, let me bust your bubbles. So Vantage Migration now has a subsidiary called Vantage Agency. All right, and Vantage Agency, you can go to their website www.vantageagency.ca. www.vantageagency.ca. The agency part of like the agency subsidiary for Vantage Migration, and the agency is able to help you process your admission, help you process your visa, and everything you need in order to successfully relocate abroad. But there is a catch. It is for people who have the money to pay their school fees and living expenses abroad. So it means if you are looking for scholarship or study loan before you can travel, you need it to travel. Then you have to stick with Vantage Migration, go through our training so that you can do it all by yourself. But if you already have the money and you want, you're just looking for somebody trustworthy who is going to go through this, who you can vouch that they will never run away with your money, right? So yeah, I'll never want to be associated with anything that will scam somebody one bit, no matter what. So go to www.vantageagency.ca. Please note, this is different from Vantage Migration, and do not get confused about the two. So Vantage Agency is a subsidiary of Vantage Migration, and they handle agency services. You can definitely benefit from that. I hope that helps you. All right. So let's look at the next question that people are asking. Please, if you have your question, click on the question mark, type your question. I'll be able to bring it on board and answer it. I really want to answer your question. Once the question I have here is finished, then I can continue to answer the ones that has been prepared by my team. All right, I definitely want to answer your question. So okay, so let's look at the next question. The next question says, how can I get my PR in Canada? I am in Canada already, and I will school by January. I am in Canada already, and I will school by January. That your question is not complete, Emma. Your question, do you mean you're in Canada, you are ending your school in January, or you are starting school in January? Please rephrase your question and type again so that I can know what to answer instead of assuming. All right. Oh, so the next question says, I already got an admission in University of Manitoba. Do you think it's a good choice? I can't tell you top of my head. The question is, University of Manitoba admission. Are you sure you got it from University of Manitoba directly? If yes, when you say, are you sure it's a good choice? What are you looking for? People are looking for different things. Some people are looking for full scholarship. Some people are looking for admission to Canada. That's all. Some people are looking for, how do I know if you have a good admission? I don't know the program you got. I don't know if it's a program of best fit for you, right? What if, let me give you an example. Imagine you read engineering and this program you got is for nursing, right? How do you expect me to tell you it's a good admission? So you see that the question you're asking me, I don't have all the information to answer it. So I know you would like to hear, yes, it's a good choice. It may make you happy, but that means that my answer is just, I'm just here to lick your buttocks, right? And make you happy. And definitely, that's not why I came online today. I came online to answer your questions so that you won't fall into gutter. So, if you really want me to answer the question, you're going to write a page. You tell me everything you want to do. All the things you've been doing since you graduated from school. I will not, that's how I will know if the program good for you. Is Manitoba one good for you? How much do you have in your pockets? Do you have enough money to fund it? Is it on full scholarship? All this information will be taken into account to be able to answer that simple answer. It is a good admission for you. It's not as simple as you think. I hope you understand it. I hope you understand it. Anyways, let's go to the next question. Next question. All right. So the next question is let's look at the next question. Says, is September intake still open for international undergraduates? What do you mean September intake? Which of the Septembers? September 2023 or September 2024? If it's September 2023, you are not going anywhere. You are too late. As of when I'm making this video. Which means you are supposed to allow for 6 to 12 months processing time. That brings you to the next talk. You are supposed to allow for 6 to 12 months processing time for your study abroad. A lot of people are making the mistake of wanting to start 1 month to resumption time, 2 months to resumption time. That aren't happening, my dear. It's not happening. So get started fast ahead of time. That's how to do this thing. Oh. That's how to do this thing. So you can't just say you want to go and study September and you start July, 2 months to the time. The appropriate time to start is 6 to 12 months. Preferably 12 months. In fact, preferably more than 12 months. When I was going to study abroad, I started 18 months ahead of time. So when I say 6 to 12 months, some people, they can't plan. Study abroad requires planning. Even if you have all the money in the world, you still need planning. I hope you hear. Anyways, let's go to the next question. Next question. Okay. So this is from G. G said, is it possible to migrate via a tourist visa to from a tourist visa to a study visa? It is possible. Like, We have people who maybe, for example, they visit Canada as a tourist to check out how the country is. When they are here and they see that they like the country, they go on, they apply for admission in a school, they get the admission, and they apply to the embassy to change their visa from a visiting visa, aka tourist visa, to a study visa. That is legal, that is allowed. There is nothing problematic about it. So yes, it's possible. All right, next question. Next question. Let's see. Is there any scholarship for PGD as a HND holder in engineering? The question, the answer I'll give you is yes, but there's a but. Yes, but number one, as a HND holder, you can go for masters direct, and this will open you up to way so many scholarships than you going for PGD. One. Number two, even if you decide to go for PGD, you can get scholarship, but even if you don't get full scholarship or you don't get scholarship at all, you can go for study loan. What does this mean? It is possible. You can get funding to go and study as a HND holder. But the question is, do you know what is best for you? Why go for PGD if you can go for masters direct? That is food for thought for all HND holders. Why go for PGD if you can go for masters direct, which gives you more scholarships, which gives you more study loan option? Why go for PGD when you can go for masters direct? If you're HND holder, comment so that I will know what to tell you next. Okay, next question. So, please, what are the things to put in mind and prepare for as a new student in Canada? Are you in Canada already? Oladipo, and if you have this question, are you in Canada already? Or you are about to go to Canada, but you say, as a new student in Canada, well, what I'm going to say to you, there are so many things, depending on what your problem is. I'll list some of the problems new students in Canada. I'm going to assume that you're already in Canada, right? As a new student in Canada, sometimes you came through a program that has a very short length and you will need to do a second program. Sometimes people are going to quote me out of context. I know. That's why I'm shouting it again. Sometimes, especially if it's people who went through Vantage migration, they already know how to find the right information and do things fast. But you see, anybody that is not a Vantage migration student, I can't vouch for you. There is no guarantee that you know what to do, even with the information in front of you. Right? Good. With that said, sometimes most of those people, they will need to do a second program because they don't even know how things work. So, some people now, they would not be wondering, how will I get the money? This. That's a problem. Then, so, you see, you know what is happening? I'm speculating. With this question, I'm speculating. I'm going to have to talk about thousands of problems. So maybe it is better if you tell me exactly the challenge you have and then I can advise you about it. What do you all say? That's better, right? So if you are in the shoes and you have these same questions I just read out, talk about your specific problem. That way we can answer it better. Instead of me just guessing, stressing me up and down. All right? So let's look at the next question. So this person said, what is the best type of Canadian visa to apply for after completing my master's in the UK? 1, study visa. How? Most people in UK who are looking for sponsorship job or sponsored jobs will not get. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but this is just the naked truth. Let me just tell you. They will not get the stuff. So what do many of them do? They prefer to relocate to a country with great immigrant policy, right? Like Canada. So what will happen? Somebody who did UK masters can just do another masters in Canada, or can even do PhD in Canada, right? And so with study visa, they will be able to relocate to Canada. However, You can also use your masters while you're in UK. Maybe if your real goal is not any other program at all, you want to just, you know, immigrate to Canada, you can apply for the express entry, right? With your masters, you will qualify for express entry. You can do that. But if you want to be in control of your life, you will apply for study visa instead. Thank me later. All right? Thank me later. Okay, let's go to the next question. This person say, how can I get my PR in Canada when I'm in Canada already? I will start school by January. Oh, you have a long way to go, my dear. Start school first. I think that's the best answer I give to you now. Focus. You're in Canada already. You start school by January. So what visa are you with here? Or you arrived on study visa 4 to 6 months before your study time? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Be careful. Be careful so that you don't put yourself in trouble. All right? Sadiq is telling me to type the agency. I can't get the website. www.vantageagency.ca. Can somebody type it for him, please? If you are watching me live right now, if you're watching this video with me, somebody's asking for the website of the agency, the Vantage Migration Subsidiary, the Vantage Agency. Right? And I said the website is www.vantageagency.ca. Can you type that out for can you type that out so that those who don't know it can pick it up from there? Let's see who will get it first. www.vantageagency.ca. All right, type it out. Who is commenting? Let's see. Lots of questions. Awesome. So let me pin this. One moment. So for those that are looking for the agency website, this is it. www.vantageagency.ca. Or you can even check them out on Instagram at vantageagency.ca on Instagram. And you'll be able to get you can find the website from there. So remember, Vantage Agency is for people who have the money to pay for their study abroad process and for their living expenses, and they just need a trusted company that is going to handle it. Okay, if you're looking for scholarship and you need it to travel, if you're looking for study loan and you need it to travel, you need to learn how to do the process yourself, because nobody is going to do it for you. Okay. All right, next question. Okay. Nina, where are you joining us from? The next question here says, finished my NYC last month. Whoa. HND holder. Yeah. Can I get master scholarship to in any school in Canada? What are the requirements? How do I kickstart through Vantage migration? Okay. The best thing I'm going to tell you to do is to start with our free study abroad webinar. That is because, as you can see, you have lots of questions, and you're going to need somebody to answer these things step by step, right? So start with our free webinar. One moment. Go to www.vantagemigration.ca. That's how you're going to get started. All right? Go to www.vantagemigration.ca. Complete our free webinar. And if you have any more questions, even at the webinar, we'll tell you how to proceed. If you have any more questions, once you check your eligibility, you're going to see how to contact us. Based on that, you can contact us and we'll take it up. Any other question you have, we'll be able to answer it for you. All right? So start with the free webinar. That is how to get started. All right? Okay. Next question. Congratulations on completing your program. Next question. Which province can you advise someone with average income coming to Canada via MSc to reside in? Someone with average income can reside in any city. I will not. I know you want me to mention the name. There is different cities have pros and cons, right? Which you can search for online. But believe you me when I tell you that choosing a city is not as important as getting your admission and getting the right program. That's what you should focus on. And whichever province you find that school, apply till you get it and relocate. That is what you should focus on. I know you want me to tell you a province so that your heart will be sweet. I'm so sorry. I can't meet up with that, your request. Let's go to the next question. Someone said, how much do I need as proof of fund for family of 6 to Canada, depending on your situation? If you have full scholarship, the figures will be different. If you have study loan, the figures will be different, right? And I mean the figures you need in your account will be different. So there is no one size fits all. There is no one size fits all. I know you want a specific answer to this. I will be lying to you if I give you an answer, and I'm not a liar. So there's no one size fits all. It's one of two things. It's either you learn how to do it yourself so that you will know how to calculate, and you can't even calculate with accuracy right now if you have not gotten the admission already. The city you are going to will determine many things. The school you are going to will determine many things. The course you are going to read will determine many things. The kind of program will determine many things. Do you have full scholarship or not will determine many things. Are you going to be studying loan will determine many things. How am I going to fix all this thing? Maybe you are going to this school, maybe you are going to this province. How? It's not going to work. So you have one of two choices. You can go to www.vantagemigration.ca to know how to start the process yourself, right? Actually, that's your best choice. But as somebody with a family of 6, something comes to my mind. You're probably an elderly woman or an elderly man. You're definitely not young, right? And you probably have a career, or your spouse has a career that is lucrative. That's how come you're taking care of 6 children. One thing I know about those kind of people is that sometimes you don't have the strength to pull through. If you need agency service to handle everything for you, talk to you more about how much you need in your account, blah, 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 it's okay. Go to vantageagency.ca, which is www.vantageagency.ca, and you can book an appointment with a consultant if you have the money to pay for your expenses. When we say if you have your money, there's a difference between I have 1 naira in my account, but I think I have money. But some people, they know they have money, but they don't know how much this will cost. That's a different thing from I don't have the money, I'm looking for scholarship for a family of 6. You understand? So, whatever works for you, all right? Thank you. Let's go to next question. Next question. So, someone say, how long does it take to get an interview date in a Canadian embassy? No, you don't. You don't get an interview date. For Canada, you submit paper application. So, if you are ready to submit your visa today, you submit your visa today. However, the visa takes time to come back. Most times 3 to 4 months. So you have to take note of that timing. This is one of the reasons we tell people, you can't just say, hey, I'm traveling next month. I want to come to Canada, study abroad. You no go work. Because even visa alone will take 3 to 4 months. So what time will you now use to apply to the school, get the admission, prepare, buy your ticket and come, right? It's always good to start 6 to 12 months ahead of time for your own good. Let's look at the next question. Next question. Does Vantage Migration provide scholarship for undergraduates? If yes, what are the necessary steps? We work with university graduates only. Vantage Migration, where we show you how to apply for scholarship and study loan, we work with university graduates only. All right? Next question. Somebody is asking me a question that is if let's say we have, I can't answer that question. Let me move on to the next. One moment, please, while I bring the next question here. So this person is saying, is there any scholarship or admission for GCE A-level holder? We handle university graduates only at Vantage Migration. For people looking for scholarship, study loan, we handle university graduates only. Let's look at the next question. Somebody say, if I go to Canada with a visitor's visa, how easy is it to transition to a study visa or work visa? By the way, I think, let's call a spade a spade. If you want to come to Canada to study, go through study visa. So asking me, how easy is it to transition from visitor's visa to study visa? Why do you want to go for visiting visa? Let me tell you, it even takes long. It's harder for you to get visitor visa than for you to get study visa. And if you're coming to study, why do you want to wait to confuse the embassy first before you come? Like, everything doesn't have to be wuru-wuru in life. You understand? If you want to come and study, apply for study visa, full stop. So maybe you should come clean and tell us what exactly your plans are, which I won't even advise you to do online. All right? So the next question says, do I necessarily need a huge statement of account to join my spouse who is studying in Canada? No, you don't. If your spouse have money, they can even bring you over. Oh, there's something that came to my mind. If your spouse know what they are doing, they can. I'm not going to tell you. Anyways, talk to your spouse. Talk to your spouse, okay? If you want to go through study visa, that's fine. You can come to Vantage Migration and we can teach you how to do that successfully. All right? Let's look at the next question. I'm a pharmacist from Ghana. How do I transfer into Canada? Yeah, as a pharmacist in Ghana, you can apply to study a master's program in Canada. While you are studying there, you can write any other exam you need to write. It's way better than trying to write the exam from outside, right? So when you say, how can I transfer into Canada? How can I transfer that into Canada? The easiest way for you is apply for a master's program. However, remember that Canada has this thing they call express entry, which as a pharmacist, you can also apply for the express entry and get it, right? I will always say, if you want to be in control of your life, you should be going through the study abroad route, because that is the one you can control. Every other route, you can't control it. All right. Okay, next question. When a wife goes with study visa with her husband as a dependent, how soon can they come and pick their children? As soon as they want. It's not the embassy that tells you when you should come and pick your children. It is you who will decide when you want to come and pick your children, based on when you have settled and you have maybe where they will stay, money to take care of them, then you come and pick them. It's not the embassy that determines that, it is you. Okay? Let's look at the next question from Solomon. Solomon said, BSc in physics, and it is logical to apply for college because it's cheap. Instead of, if you even have money to apply. So there are two things you can do. But let me tell you the straightforward one. Learn how it is done. Go to www.vantagemigration.ca. Learn how it is done. So, because think about it. You even have money to pay for the cheap school. And you will rather think about it. How much do you need to, if you are paying from pocket, it's a lot of money, right? So you have that amount of money, but the money to pay somebody to teach you how it's done is too small. It's too big for you to bring out. It's penny wise, pound foolish. True of us. Am I insulting you if I say you are being penny wise, pound foolish? Am I insulting you? I'm not insulting you. Because you are ready to allow all that money go down the drain and your visa will not be approved instead of learning how it's done. When you say BSc in physics, I expected you to be smart. So I'm going to give you benefit of doubt that you are still as smart as I thought initially. All right? So let me give you the webinar link. I just want to assume you've never heard of this webinar before. You see, I'm making a lot of good assumptions about you. Go to www.vantagemigration.ca. Start with our free webinar. When you finish, check your eligibility, right? You see how to email us. If you need to email us, we'll answer your questions. Get trained. Do it once and for all. You're physics. You read physics. That means you know about how things work. Things have processes. They don't just happen. Right? That's the best thing for you. Instead of throwing your hard savings away, soon you will look for someone to hand it over to that person. And by this time next year, you are still where you are. Am I being too harsh on you? Solomon, comment. Am I being too harsh on you? Am I being too harsh on you? Or I'm telling you the truth? Okay, Solomon said thank you. That's good. Awesome. So, okay, this person is asking, how can a pharmacy technician relocate to Canada from US? You can apply to study in Canada. That's relocation route that works from now till tomorrow. You can apply to study in Canada. Okay, let's look at the next question. I have a friend who has been waiting for more than 7 weeks for his student visa. That one a small thing now. I already told you student visa takes... How long did I say student visa take for Canada? How long? Everybody comments. How long does student visa take for Canada? This person is telling me, I have a friend that has been waiting for 7 weeks. He hasn't even been emailed to send his passport. How long is the return time? I mentioned it here. How long does student visa take for Canada for most people? How long? Comments. Awesome. Vivian said 3 to 4 months. Chukudi said 3 months. Kochu 3 to 4 months. 3 to 4 months. That's the answer. 3 to 4 months. So 7 weeks is not anywhere near 3 to 4 months, right? Therefore, your friend should relax. Somebody said 4 to 6 months. That's not what I said. 3 to 4 months is what I said. Don't quote me wrongly. 3 to 4 months. All right? Good. Let's look at the next question. I'm about to go for my NYSC and it lasts for 1 year. Can I be processing my study route while serving? You are too wise. That is what I would advise any of my friends to do. To process your study route while you are serving. So that at the end of service, you relocate. Full stop. It's like magic. Okay? If you have not attended our webinar, go to www.vantagemigration.ca. Please, if you are listening to me and you know that website, can you type it down so that the person can see? www.vantagemigration.ca. All right? Start with our free webinar, www.vantagemigration.ca. I'll show it to you again. That's the easiest way to start. All right? Some people, they are very good with asking you, how much this. Why should you be willing to pay for nonsense? You attend free webinar, you know what we do, you know what we are about. It is only after then you cannot be asking me how much. Please, it's not me and you that is doing how much. Get the information first for free. Will you do that one? Will you do it? That's the hard one, and that's the one I want you to do first. That's the hard one. How much is not the hard one? Okay? All right, let's look at the next question. I'm bringing the next question on board here. So the next question says, can I gain an admission with a class in the UK? 100% yes. 100% yes. Learn how it is done. Learn how to position yourself differently from third class. If you notice, let me just give you a tip of an iceberg. If you notice what you did now, you just forgot about all the awesomeness of you. And you defined yourself by a grade, third class. That's what this person just did. Can I gain an admission with third class in the UK? All right, so Olaleki, tell me 2 other good things about you. I know you have third class, right? Tell me 2 good things about you. Most people who have low grade make the mistake of defining themselves by the low grade. But you are wrong. I put it to you. You are wrong. You are not defined by your low grade. Right in there, that person who has third class is an awesome person, very good in one thing, very good in another thing, very good. Focus on your strength. In fact, most people, even the program that they got third class in is a program they have no interest in. Do you know you can turn your third class into a blessing? Imagine you have third class in something, right? Let's say you read agriculture and you have third class in it. See, if you apply for nursing and tell the admission committee that you have third class in agriculture because you were not interested in it, this is the reason you are jumping to nursing. I'm just giving you an example. Everybody will be like, wow, tell us more. Then you can tell us about your love for that thing you are applying for, right? So now you have presented a perfect explanation for the third class you had. But some people there, I'm a third class human being. Please help my soul. My dear, are you a third class human being? Your nose, is it third class? Your ears, is it third class? Your eyes, are they third class in nature? Eh? You are not third class. Olaleko, you are not third class. It is the grade you had in school. Before you went to university, were you not a human being? After you graduated, are you not a human being? What are the things you love? Those are the things will help you to bring out advantage migration so that you go on to excel. Let's move on. Next question. Okay. MBA being a course-based, how can you proceed in terms of securing a graduate assistant scholarship? You can do other programs. So why not learn how it is done? What you're asking me now is like, how can I make a man to have big breasts? Do you understand my point? Do you want to do plastic surgery for the person? That's when you say, MBA being a course-based, how can you process to have... You're asking me how to... I don't want to go raw, right? But I'm sure the first one I said gave you a glimpse at what you are trying to do, which is not right. So instead, you should be asking yourself, based on this situation, what kind of program should I be going for? Why am I going for it? What other funding options do I have? What other funding options do I need? What other funding option can I explore? Right? Is it only MBA I can do? Let's assume the answer is yes. What type of MBA can I do? We have people doing MBA and getting scholarship, 100% for sure, right? But you have to learn how to maneuver these things. Will you attend free webinar? You know, the way people do that, they'll be like, tell me, when you not say attend free webinar, no. I'm like, okay, then how can I help you? All right, how can I help you? Attend free webinar, that's where to start from. Let's look at the next question. This person say, can run a promo on Vantage Training, please. You, Osho free. Have you completed the free webinar? The free one, have you completed it? You're looking for promo. Promo, ooh, promo key. Promo no go kill you. But I beg, focus on your focus. Okay, let's look at the next question. This person talked about how can you reach out to us for consultation. If you need to reach out to us for consultation, send us an email via admission@vantagemigration.ca. Please take a screenshot right away. If you want to contact us, you have a question, you have completed our free webinar, you have a question, you want us to answer you want us to answer your question directly, please send us an email. That is how you communicate with us. The email address is admission@vantagemigration.ca. Can you take a screenshot? And once you take a screenshot, comment done, so that I know that you are taking the screenshot and I can remove it from the screen. Admission@vantagemigration.ca. Comment done. Take a screenshot and comment done. Then I can remove it from the screen. Who has done that? Who has done that? Awesome. Awesome. Good. Okay, let's continue then. Awesome. So now let's look at the next question that somebody has here for us. That question is let's see. So this person is asking, how can I move from UK to Canada? How can I move from UK to Canada? You will benefit from, let me tell you something you will benefit from. You will benefit from Vantage integration services. So you can check this address I'm calling for you specifically for the question you asked. How can I move from UK to Canada? Go to www.vantageintegration.com. I know somebody will say I'm disturbing their head. Don't listen if this question does not apply to you. How can I move from UK to Canada? Go to www.vantageintegration.com. You are going to get information on how to move from your country to another country. All right, let's look at more questions from people. Queen is saying, can someone who studied primary education studies get a master's in nursing? Don't ask me that. Attend the free webinar. When you start your program with Vantage Migration, we will show you the program. We will show you how to get your own programs of best fits. So don't come and ask me, can somebody who studied engineering do nursing? That's not the point here. All right? And I will definitely not be answering that kind of question. Start with our free webinar. Start the Vantage Migration program. We will show you how to get the programs that are right for you. Because for you, it is not just about getting any admission. When you get the admission, will your visa be approved? It's not just about getting admission. When you get the admission, will your visa be approved? That's what you should worry about. That's what you should worry about. All right? Please. So, start from where you're supposed to start from. Question from Joe. Joe is saying, I want to study in Canada. I am a graduate who read real estate. That's awesome. How do you get started? I believe that's your question. Start from attending our free webinar, which is by going to www.vantagemigration.ca today. Go there now. You are still awake. Go there now. All right? Let's look at the next question here. Let's look at the next question here. Okay. Can I forfeit my admission at CIMT even after I already have a study visa so I can start afresh? Why are you starting afresh? Why are you forfeiting this stuff? There's no way for me to know how to answer your question. Right? If you already got your visa, why are you forfeiting? What's the reason? Is it So before you forfeit your admission, arrive the country first. So go into the country. Once you're in the country, then you can change program and now inform the embassy that, hey, you changed your program. That works and that is legal. I don't advise you to stay in your country and start switching program. Embassy may say, I don't understand what's going on with you, and they cancel your visa. So be careful. Okay? Next question. Next question. Next question. Next question. Next question. This person said, can my brother get full scholarship for PhD in Canada? Yes, yes, yes. With his master's degree from UK. Yes, 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 yes. Even if his master's degree from Nigeria or from Ghana or from Cameroon. Yes, yes, yes. He can get scholarship for PhD. Most PhDs are fully funded. The question is, how are you going to get it? This is where Vantage Migration Training comes in. Ask your brother to attend our free study abroad webinar. Take a screenshot and send to your brother. He should start from the free study abroad webinar at www.vantagemigration.ca, and from there he will know exactly how to ask us questions and we'll guide him exactly on how to go about it. All right? More questions. Okay, let's look at next one. Oh, somebody said, I want to start afresh because I need a scholarship. We are in trouble already. Let me tell you. I think this person said they got admission, they got visa. They want to start afresh because they need scholarship. Let me tell you what I suspect. What I suspect is that this person have used a fake. When I use fake, it doesn't mean it's not real. Maybe people put money in their accounts and the visa is approved. All those people have come to collect their money back. Now you don't have money, you need scholarship, you have to start afresh. Be careful, because if embassy finds out and cancel your visa, to get another one will be tug of war. To get another one will be tug of war. So before you play anything fishy, if you know you're not traveling, just leave the visa alone and then start afresh. When you get that one, then you can email embassy or something. Be very, very careful. Be very, very, very careful. Because what I'm saying this is because most times people don't know, like things you think are normal, you just go and do it, and then that's what will put you in trouble. Next question. Let's look at the next question. Let's look at the next question. One moment, finding the right question. Is it true that if you school under a scholarship in Canada, you won't be given PR? It is life from the bottom of hell. Let me tell you why it is a lie. I, Dr. Linda Iheme, studied on full scholarship in Canada. Today, I'm a Canadian citizen, all through the study abroad process and PR process. My PR was not denied because I studied on full scholarship. So you're looking at a living witness. Oh, all right? So it is not true that if you study on scholarship, you will not be given PR. It is a lie from the pit of hell. Next question. How can I get scholarship to study in Canada as an architect? You can. You can. That is exactly what we show you once you start with our free study abroad webinar. Go to www.vantagemigration.ca. That is the best place to get started, okay? That's what we show you. Okay? We have Flourish. Flourish said, Ma, I'm in Canada already. Can I get funding for my program? Please build me ma. Okay, Flourish, go on Instagram right now and check for Vantage Integration. At Vantage Integration, you are going to be able to see how people who are already in developed countries can get funding for career advancement. Okay? So, or even, so just go to Vantage Integration and you're going to be able to get it. All right? Do you want me to spell it out for you? Vantage, the integration is INTEGRATION. Okay? Go to Vantage Integration on Instagram. You are going to see how to proceed from there. And for every other person who is already in a developed country, right? Like you are in UK, you are in US, you are in Canada, you are in Cyprus, you are in blah, blah, blah. You're already in a developed country and you're looking for how to wiggle it out, okay? You will benefit by going to Vantage Integration. Go right now, you're going to see it and you'll be able to follow through. All right? Wishing you the best of luck. All right. Let's go to the next question. Do you think it is safe for me to extend my study permit and at the same time apply for my wife's work permit? Are both of you already in Canada? If yes, or where you are? If yes, yes. But if you are in different places, I would say do one at a time. Which one should come first? Definitely you extending your study permit comes first. Extend your study permit, get it, then apply for your wife. That would be the smartest thing to do. If you and your wife are in different locations. If you are in the same country already, like let's say you and your wife, you're in Canada, you can do whatever you want to do. If you're in different places, feel free to if you're in different places, feel free to do it one after the other, starting with your study permit first. All right? Bring your question. Bring your question. Bring your question. Let us answer it for you, okay? Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Okay. More questions. This person said, Mama, you need to help me. I only have 5M in my hand for travel. If you have 5M, first of all, stop announcing on social media that you have 5M. She is that she help you. Here is the help coming now. Stop announcing on social media that you have 5M. Because you're just looking for people that will scam you. Stop announcing on social media that you have 5M. That's my number one advice. Number two, since you have 5M and you already know 5M will not take you abroad if you are paying from your pockets, it is better for you to learn how to get scholarship and study loan. So that your 5M, you can use it for application, tickets, and stuff like that. It makes sense, right? So it's better for you to learn how it works. Which is where I would say attend our free study abroad webinar. Starting from www.vantagemigration.ca. Please don't take this your 5M and hand it over to somebody. Please. Well, I believe Henry have helped you enough. Okay, so let's see. Somebody say, will you direct me? Will you direct you? Somebody's asking me more about the webinar. Attend the webinar first. Don't ask me what is inside the webinar. Should I start the webinar here? Does it make sense for me to start the webinar here? No. Attend the webinar, complete the webinar. You will see what to do next, step by step. That free one, you will not do it. So is it when I not tell you to pay $100 million that you will pay? Start from the free one. All right. Let's look at how can I apply for a scholarship? I'm already in the US with an F1 visa. Well, are you applying for scholarship for a new program or for the program you're already studying? We work with people who are starting afresh. So if you're not starting afresh, I'm sorry, I can't help you. If you are starting afresh, you're already in the US, let's say you want to do another program, you're looking for scholarship for it, definitely you can go to Vantage Integration, right? Which is at Vantage Integration, all right? On Instagram, you'll be able to see how to go about it since you're already in a developed country. But if you're asking for funding for a school you're already studying at right now, we can't help you. Sorry. Somebody said, what if I don't have enough school fees and transport? What does this person mean? What if you don't have enough for school fees and transport? If you don't have enough for school fees, if you don't have enough money for school fees, learn how to get scholarship, learn how to get study loan. All right? That is how you're going to do it. By going to www.vantagemigration.ca. All right? Take a screenshot. www.vantagemigration.ca. We show you how to get admission by yourself on scholarship, or even use study loan if your scholarship is not complete. All right? That's what we do. Okay? More questions. More questions. Let's look at more questions. One moment. Brown skin Bella. Say, I got an ambition to study global business management in Toronto, but no money. Is it from Toronto School of, sorry. There's this Toronto School of maybe Toronto School of Management or something. There's this school. Anyway, the question is, as you can see for yourself, that getting admission is not equal to landing abroad. There is a whole lot of processes. If you don't have the money, instead of wasting your application money, which some of those schools will give you free application, but yes, you may think that you are not wasting time. But instead of the time you will have used to apply for another program, you use it to apply for this school. Even after they give you admission, you are not going to relocate. Waste of everybody's time, right? Waste of everybody's time. Waste of your time. If you don't have the money, instead of using your time, because you may say you are not spending money, but you are spending time. Instead of using your time to apply to schools that you know even when they give you admission, you can't travel. Learn how to get scholarship. You know, even study loan, if you need it. And there's no harm in learning how to get it. If you need it, fine. If you don't need it, you leave it. But learn how to get scholarship. Because getting admission and you're still not able to travel, you waste one more year at home and you start afresh. It all depends on you. Let's look at the next question. Somebody says Toronto School of Management. You know that school, they give everybody admission. Then they will not give you like $7,500 scholarship. And then you will not have close to $10,000 or more to pay. And you won't even be able to pay it. Waste of everybody's time. Waste of everybody's time. Alright? Let's look at more questions. So we have Janet. Janet is saying, how can I get a scholarship with 2-2 for a STEM course? It's possible. Do you even know that sometimes when you say that you have 2-2, sometimes because the schools, most of them use their final year or last 2 years CGPA. So most times you may think you have 2-2, but when you calculate your CGPA according to the Canada standard or US standard or UK standard, you may see that you don't have a 2-2. Funny, but true. So, some people who have 2-2 written on their certificate, when their CGPA is calculated, the last final year CGPA or last 2 years CGPA, they don't have 2-2. They have either first class or they have 2-1. I'm telling you from experience. So, but how do you learn how to do this calculation? We teach it to our students at Vantage Migration. Even with your 2-2, can you get admission? Yes. Can you get scholarship? Yes. Worst case, maybe partial funding. Can you get study loan to complete it? Yes. So, the way I look at it, like, let me tell you, like, I'm going to tell you something, and I know that for some people, it's going to sound like marketing, and truly it is. It is. But do you know that marketing is sweet when you truly believe in what you're marketing? We can both agree on that, right? Let me give you an example. Do you know, and I'm going to give you a very extreme example. Do you know if somebody come here today and tell me, Dr. Linda, we are going to cut one of your hand if you lie. We're going to cut off one of your hand if you lie. Do you think somebody who signed up to Vantage Migration Program will be successful if they follow everything you say? Do you think they will come to Canada? Do you think they will get scholarship? Do you think that even if they don't get scholarship or full scholarship, they will be able to get study loan if they follow everything you teach? I will keep my hand and I will say yes. Let's assume that there was a lie dictator that will cut off my hand if they figure out that I'm lying. I will put my hand and I will say yes. And do you know why I'll put it? Because without any doubt, even a doubt as grain of salt, I don't have any doubt that if you come to Vantage Migration today and follow what we are teaching, it's not those people that will tell me, when I tell them to modify their CV like this, they will tell me, I've been using this same CV to get job for the past 12 years, so I can't change it. If you're that kind of person, carry your money, they go. Carry your wallet, they go. Because I can't help you. As you see me, so I stubborn. You know? You see my head, I stubborn. So, and when I get those kind of people, I say, we'll box it out. Because your success is my success. You know? But for somebody who is willing to learn, who will say, do it like this, do it like this, they will do it like this, do it like this. Like, they will follow your direction. I have no single doubt that you will get that by this time next year, your visa is either out or you're waiting for your visa to be out, which it will come out. I'm not guessing. Do you get? That is how much I believe in what we do. That is how much I believe in it. If you attend our program and you are not successful, we are still there answering your questions. Even if it takes you 1 year, even if it takes you 18 months, even if it takes you 2 years, we are answering your questions. Every time you have that question, every time you reach out to us, even when we need to book video consultation with you, we answer your question until you land. When you land in your country of where you are going to, we give you flight scholarship and say, congratulations, you do well. Please, is there any other person that is doing what we are doing here? Okay, I saw a message, a comment. Henry said, Nigerians, please don't waste your time. Focus on the bag. Henry, what do you mean? Can you expatiate more? Or what you mean by that? Can you tell me what you mean by that? Let your voice be heard. Can I submit? A question came in. Henry, I'm waiting for your comments. Now, new question says, can I submit my student visa application with my wife at the same time? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Next question. For people that have, maybe you have attended our webinar. You have attended our webinar, right? Henry, explain yourself. Oh, by the time you wake up, I will have blocked you. So if you think you're going to run away by sending love, it's not going to work. Explain yourself, or else you would have been blocked by the time you wake up. And it's not a threat because I will do it so that I will sleep well. Explain what you mean by what you commented, okay? I'm giving you a grace, and you don't get this grace all the time. Explain yourself. Okay, for people who have been going, let's say you completed our webinar, you have a question, send us an email. All right? Send us an email. That's the best way. Go to, oh sorry, this is the email address, admission@vantagemigration.ca. Send us an email. We'll be able to respond to you by morning. All right? Send us an email. All right. Okay, let's look at the next question. Let's see. One moment. Okay, Harry, thank you so much. That's fine. Let's look at more questions. Somebody said, with the Naira constantly going up, won't it affect the proof of funds? It can, depending on what you do. There is a way to not let the volatility of your currency, your local currency, affect your proof of funds. There is a way to get that done. There is a way to get that done. There is a way to get that done. If you're a Vantage Migration student and you have a question about this, send us an email. admission@vantagemigration.ca, and we'll be able to answer you. If you're not a Vantage Migration, start by becoming our student first. All right? I will be able to take it up from there. There is a way. What things that look like there's no way, there is a way. Things that look like there's no way, there is a way. All right? There's a way to freeze your currency so that it will not affect your proof of funds. All right? Okay, let's look at more questions that people have typed. So Ambrose is asking, what will be the minimum estimated budget to come abroad for study program and work at the same time? There's no minimum because they don't deal with what's the minimum. Well, there's minimum, but there's how to calculate that minimum. And how to calculate it require things like your school fees, the country you are going to, what you are doing, blah, 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 program. There's so many factors into that minimum. So it's not something somebody tell you offhand. Because once I give you a figure, everybody will assume that this is the minimum. And they will be wrong. And their visa will be denied. And they are going to say, Dr. Linda said this, but it's not correct. Because minimum is not a guesswork. You calculate minimum for each individual. All right? You calculate minimum for each individual. All right, more questions. Let's see. Okay. Should we call it a day or you have more questions? Type your questions before we go. Okay. Well. I'm going to thank you for staying here with me. Canada Works, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for joining. I want to thank you for staying here with me and joining on this live session. And I appreciate your time. And if you have more questions, please, the best thing for you to do is to start with our free study abroad webinar. Go to www.vantagemigration.ca. We are still going to answer more questions at the webinar. So attend the free webinar. And after attending the webinar, please attend the webinar first before you email us. After attending the webinar, if you have more questions, send us an email and we're going to take it up from there, answer you, direct you, and ensure that all your questions are clarified. Send us an email, admission@vantagemigration.ca. If you email us without attending the webinar, chances are that we are still going to ask you to go and complete the webinar first. So just do it. Attend the webinar, complete it, send us a question. If you have question, if you send us an email, if you have any question, we'll take it from there. Life is easy. The webinar is free. So do that way. Do that way you do that way you get the best out of this thing. And information is what you need most. Don't be looking for it's like, it's not where to put your money. How can you be spending money without knowing what you're spending on? How can you be spending money without knowing whether the money you are going to even spend is going to help you? So don't focus on how much, which is normal regular people's way of thinking. No. Focus on getting the right information first. Attend our free study abroad webinar. Go now to www.vantagemigration.ca. Complete that webinar and take it up from there. Send us. We are happy to answer your email. Okay? Okay? Take good care of yourself till I see you again. Bye.